team arguments and how they work in debating. So let me.
I think there's two, Teacher Michael.
I know, right? How crazy is that? There's two of me. That's pretty scary.
Teacher, I have two surprises.
You have two surprises. All right, show us at the end of class. We'll wait until the end for the surprises. So, goodness. Let me share my screen with you all. Okay. So my camera keeps going really funny. It'll show me and then it'll go sideways all of a sudden.
I am back. I mean, I'm hanging upside down.
Teacher, why I have pink eyebrows?
Why you have what?
Why I have pink eyebrows and pink beard?
I don't know. Because you set your screen effect to having facial hair is my guess. Now, so just to run you guys through this again quickly, is that we have a debate topic, and that goes at the top of the screen here. So let's say our debate topic for this debate is, should, just realize that, will, okay, so I need it to be there. Okay, perfect.
Teacher,
so let's say that our
your face.
You can't see my face. There we go.
I can see your face too.
And now let's watch it disappear in just a moment when I do something else. So let's say our topic for this debate is, should all children learn?
Did you use two devices?
Did I used to do what?
Two devices.
Did I used to debate?
Do you use two devices? Because there's two of you.
Oh, yes, I do. So I've got my phone logged in so I can keep an eye on all the cameras and check that you're behaving yourselves. And I also have my tablet where I'm running the lesson from. Yeah, so there are two of me in the class right now. So underneath that, we would normally write down the date that the debate is taking place. So that would be 14th of July, 2023. Now, the judges would normally have two score sheets out for this. One for the pro team, one for the con team. So I'll do one for the proposition team. Now, I'm just going to pick three of you at random to be on this team, and I will pick, I will pick Ben. I will pick Chips. And I will pick
Lucia.
Star. So you are the three members on my proposition team for this debate. So here we have a number next to each of our team members. So Ben is team member 1, Chips is team member 2, Star is team member 3. Stop it, Ben, behave yourself. So, so here we have our levels of performance: 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. And so every time a speaker gets up to speak, let's start with Ben. We might say the organization and clarity of Ben's arguments were pretty good. So we're going to give Ben 3 points. So he's speaker number 1. So we put a 1 in the box. Use of arguments. So reasons are given to support his viewpoint. I would say his use of arguments was pretty good as well. We can have 3. Use of examples and facts. His evidence collection needs a little bit of work, so we're going to give him 2 points. I always do that. I write the number that I say. I'm going to give him 2 points for that. His use of rebuttal was absolutely fantastic, so we're going to give him 4 points. And his presentation style was pretty good, but there are still a few things to work on. We'll give him 3 points. Next up, Chips is up. Her organization and clarity are exceptional. Her use of arguments, though, she might need to work on that a little bit. Whoop. Chips is speaker number 2. So she needs to work on her arguments a little bit, but her use of evidence was pretty good. So we're going to give her 3 points. Her use of rebuttal was pretty good, and her presentation style, pretty good. Then we have Star come up. Star does pretty all right with the organization and clarity. Her use of arguments was exceptional. I want her at 4. We want speaker number 3.
Number 4.
Because I made a mistake. I changed it back to a 3 for Star being the 3rd speaker on the team. Her use of examples and facts was pretty good. We'll give her a 3. Her use of rebuttal, we found her to be too friendly in this debate, so we're going to give her a 2 for her rebuttal. But her presentation style was unmatched. She did terrifically. So once all the speakers have come up and they've been judged and scored.
Teacher, there's 2 chips.
Where's the 2 chips? Oh, no. Lucy has changed her name to Chip. She's trying to confuse us.
Except for her face. I don't wear glasses in real life.
This is true. This is true. I've noticed that.
You are wearing glasses.
Yes, but your avatar is wearing glasses, so I think that's where the confusion came in. Anyway, so once all the speakers have spoken, the judges will tally up the scores. So I'm just going to do this quickly. 3, 6, 10, 2, 5, 9,
But teacher,
5, 8.
teacher,
Yes.
I got a question for you.
You do.
Why does Chief have advertised? You said that you cancel the advertisement until the next week. Then why today Chief still have 1?
I don't know, but it doesn't bother me because she's here and she's paying attention. So, all right. So once we've tallied up all of these scores, so we get 19, 27, 36. We get a total of 46. And then for some reason, we've got to times that total by 5. So maths escapes me. What's 40? 230. Very good. So congratulations to the team of Ben, Chips, and Star. You scored a total of points of 230. So the adjudicators would also do this for the other team, and whichever team got the highest points would win the debate. So that's how we score a debate. I need to make sure I send you one to do this weekend.
Do we need to do this for homework, or is it another different homework?
So this will be your homework. So I think I was supposed to send you one of these on Wednesday, but I've been struggling to get it formatted correctly.
But I didn't see it on Wednesday, so I thought there was no homework.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That one's on me. So, yes.
I will go out to space. I will go to the rocket.
You're going to a rocket ship
Wait
in
a
outer
little bit.
space.
Wait
Oh
a minute.
no.
Actually, I see Lucia disappeared.
I will go to space by food.
Did
But I
you
have to escape from New Zealand first, and then I can jump and get out of the world. Okay, here I go.
Sorry.
Woo! I'm in space. I see
It's kind of
something.
piece of my mind.
Teacher, I see something.
Teacher,
my God.
there is like a hand behind Lucia.
I can see that.
Teacher,
Background of space.
Okay, guys. Let's focus. Let's focus. We've got to get back on track here.
I can't see you. It's like you're white.
Teacher,
I know I'm hiding again.
teacher, I am in space, and I saw saw Sun and Moon Pokemons.
Cool. That's pretty
I
cool.
like Lunala.
Okay, so time to get on to our topic of today's lesson. And the topic of
I don't
today,
know why you keep disappearing.
because my camera doesn't like me very much for some reason. Whenever I try and get on the camera, it just flips and
Teacher.
sends me away.
Teacher, when
Yeah.
a website I can't access, or because I can't stick anything in, my sister always says that thing hate you, because that thing hate you.
Oh no. Okay, so give me just a quick second. I want to write down everybody's names in class so I can assign teams, because your homework is going to involve teams.
Can I get paired with Lucia?
Teacher, is my ring weird?
Maybe.
Please,
Oh,
I
goodness.
want to pair up with Lucia. I will open a meeting, and then they...
Hey, I have just
David.
a piece of my mind. If anyone will want to see,
Can I go with Emma, teacher?
Edna, Emma.
I can't hear what Jenny just said. That's background. That's your background. I
Jenny.
copy him. I send in the
Okay.
chat box. I send my copy into the chat box, that which is Ben background.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Do you still teach the pronunciation after the 12?
Hang on 2 seconds, guys.
Hey, teacher. Hey, teacher, there is
Teacher,
a teacher
Daddy
Michael.
just asked you something.
Teacher Michael. There is another teacher Michael here. Look on your laptop. You may see your teacher. Another
Sorry,
teacher
guys, just
Michael.
2 seconds. I'll be right back with you.
But
Teacher.
there's
Teacher.
another teacher Michael. Anyone who see another teacher Michael, who could that be?
It must be
everyone.
someone that copied.
Devices.
2 teacher Michael and 2 chips. I'll turn
What
on
are
my
you laughing at?
Hey everyone, I was
Sorry,
sending
guys,
you an
I-
invitation
Teacher
to my
Michael.
meeting.
I
That
just
is
needed
another
to.
teacher Michael.
I just needed to talk to Miss Duke about something, but we've got that sorted out. So
There is another teacher Michael.
I've written
Everyone
down
look in the
everybody's
chat
name.
box.
Everyone look in the chat box.
You can use that to make your background. Well, there's another teacher Michael here.
That's my
There
meeting.
is.
And for
Okay,
me,
guys,
and for me,
time to concentrate. Time to
Yes.
concentrate.
got
So,
excited until
I've written
teacher
all of your
Michael
names down. My goodness.
Teacher Michael. 3, 1, 2, 3.
So,
Everyone copy my link and then tomorrow if you
No,
Teacher,
every-
I think
everyone focus on class, guys. It's time to focus.
I think Chip said that copy that link tomorrow and go into our meeting.
Copy the link so we can play it when we don't have a class to do. That would be a good idea. So I've written down everybody's names here. I'm going to assign you a teammate. And over the weekend,
Lucia, me and Lucia.
no, I am assigning the teammates. You will work with who you are given.
No, I wanna
Yes,
work
and you will
Lucia.
have to work with them to come up with an argument with each
Teacher,
other.
now said 3. Teacher Michael.
I know, but you've got to listen to me. I'm I'm the teacher, Michael, that's running the class, so you've got to listen to me. So
No.
today, yes.
Teacher Michael running the class.
So today we want to talk about team arguments. So today's topic is team arguments. So first of all, we need to talk about why are team arguments important, or what is the advantage of team arguments? And the advantage of team arguments is, if we have a look, so I'm just going to draw a couple of funny little diagrams here. So let's say we've got team 1 and team 2 over here. So team 1 do not work together. So they're just 3 people making 3 sets of arguments and they're just not working together. So we see those 3 arguments going this way to the other team. If we have a look at those arguments, they're pretty thin lines, so they're not very strong when you're just making 3 individual arguments on the same team. However, if we do it the other way around, we've got our 3 teams here. So we have three team members working together as a team. So when they work together as a team, this argument supports this argument, supports this argument, and see how when you work together as a team, your arguments kind of compound with each other and they get stronger through my brilliant artistic diagrams here. So then when it comes out, we've got 3 people's arguments working to take on this person. We've got 3 people's arguments working here, and we've got 3 people's arguments working here too. So if we compare that to not working together, we've just got 3 arguments not particularly strong, but then again, these guys coming back at it, rather skinny, gets to there. Just stronger arguments. These guys are going to win. These guys are stronger. So the moral of the story is if you work with your teammates and you develop your arguments together, then you will be much stronger as a debating team, because if you forget something, then your teammates can back you up and say, oh, you're talking about this, and they can remind you of the point that you were going to make. So they help you. Your argument helps their argument. Their arguments help your argument. So overall, you just become a lot stronger debate team if you work together, plan your arguments, and support your teammates. You'll become unstoppable if you do it that way. So, not only does it make our arguments, I had an absolute nightmare yesterday when I introduced this term into class, but I'm going to see how it goes today. So there's also something called herd mentality. I'm going to write that down in the chat box. Herd mentality. And what herd mentality is if you've got 3 people that work together, believe the same idea, and support each other, that is going to look a lot stronger to anyone that's watching this. So the audience and the judges are more likely to believe and support an argument if more people do. So it's basically like the more you have, the more you get. So by having 3 people believing all of these arguments together, and everyone can see that team really believes and supports each other, the other, it will make the audience and the judges more likely to believe them. But if you've got 3 people in a team that just aren't working together, they've just done their own things and they're just trying to just see how it goes, they're going to see 3 teammates not able to support one another, 3 teammates that can't back each other up, and so 3 arguments that aren't going to be very strong. And their reaction is going to be, well, they can't even believe each other. Why would I believe them? So that's another thing to consider, herd mentality. If you all support each other, it's easier to get more people to support you too. So now I would like to talk about the roles that each team member plays in our little debate here. So first of all, we know that each team has 3 speakers. So we've got although I should use my proper words. Proposition, first, second, third. And we have our opposition team. First, second, third. Now, when it comes time to speak in a debate, we know that the proposition always goes first, and then the teams swap backwards and forwards with each other. So the first proposition speaker will go first. First opposition goes second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So this is the order that the debate goes, like this. Now, that means that each team has a special advantage that they get. So the proposition's advantage is that they are the very first team that gets to speak. And the opposition's advantage is that they are the very last team to get to speak. So each team has its own advantage, and it's in how we use those advantages that can play a big part in how we debate. So the advantage of the proposition team, they get to speak first. Their big advantage is that nobody has said anything in the debate yet. They get to open the debate. They get to make the first impression. And if that first impression is strong enough, that can keep the proposition team in the audience and the judges' minds and go, yeah, they're doing really, really well. So a very strong opening speaker is always will always do very, very well on the proposition team. And the opposition team's advantage is that they get to go dead last. So nobody else will get to rebut the points that they make. Nobody else will get to come up with counter arguments that they make. So the opposition get the final say. So the opposition will want a very, very strong finishing speaker to stand the best chance of winning the debate. So does that make sense to everybody? Are there any questions about that stuff so far?
No.
You can ask me or any of the other 3 teacher Michaels in the class. All right, very good. So each team has its own advantage, and those teams will really want to use their advantage. Because while debates can sound just like quite boring conversations, they actually can be very, very, very exciting to watch. If you're watching teams of people that really know what they're doing, can be very exciting. So, as I said before, each speaker actually has a special role that they perform for their team. And I'd like to go over those with you now. So, first up, we have where is it here? First up, we have first proposition. And the first proposition's main job is they introduce the motion, present the team's main arguments. So the way that they do this is that the first proposition speaker is responsible for establishing the team's position.
What now?
So they let the audience and the judges know what their team's position is. They lay out every single argument that their team is going to be making so that they can set their team up to deliver their arguments as well as possible. And secondly, they have to present their own arguments too. So yeah, it's the first proposition speaker's job to set their team up for victory nice and strong using their advantage. And then they have to present their own arguments to the debate as well. So first proposition speaker is actually quite important. Next, we have our first opposition speaker. So we've got our first opposition speaker, and it is their job to counter the proposition's arguments and present their team's case. So the first opposition also have quite an important job here with their first speaker. So their first speaker is, so they first of all need to present rebuttals for the first proposition speaker. So they need to counter all of their arguments.
What's so funny? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at the message. It said herd mentality. Don't say that. I'm not going to say what actually happened with that last class, but suffice to say they almost drove me insane with that word. It was funny. So our first opposition speaker's first job is to present rebuttals for the first proposition speaker. So they need to counter back to any arguments that they made. And they also need to effectively challenge the other team's arguments. That's the same thing. I need to be more careful with the points. All right. So they also need to, let's try this again, lay out their own team's arguments. And not only that, but they have to present their own arguments. So as you can see, there's a lot going on here just from our first two speakers. And in the coming, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to get a lot of chance to practice delivering our arguments in class. We're going to have a few little mock debates as well and get you guys a bit of practice. So once our first negative speaker has come up to, so once the first two speakers have come up to speak, our third person is the second proposition speaker. All right, David, you're on. So our second affirmative, sorry?
What?
I said, you're on for the end of class.
Okay.
So our second proposition speaker now comes up, and it's their job to support and develop their team's arguments. So they might do that by, so they will do that by, one, they need to remind the audience about their teammates' arguments. They need to present their own arguments. And introduce new evidence to make their case stronger. And they also need to rebut, or they need to have rebuttals for the first opposition speaker's arguments. So we see now we're starting to, one speaker from the team builds on top of the next speaker from the team, and we're constantly working together to make our case as strong as possible. So after the second proposition speaker, we get the second opposition speaker. And the second opposition speaker needs to pretty much do the same thing as the second proposition speaker. So they need to support and develop their team's arguments. And they need to rebut the proposition team. So, second opposition, the way they do their job is
I'm still listening to you.
I should hope everybody is. So the first way that the second opposition speaker supports and develops their team is they are going to counter-argue the second proposition speaker's arguments. The next job that they're going to do is they need to build on the first opposition's arguments. So we're starting to notice a pattern here. So we have make an argument and then rebuttal, make your own argument. Then we've got rebuttal, build on your team's arguments, make your own team's arguments. And then we've got the same thing for the next speaker as well. And finally, so once the second opposition has spoken, usually now is the time when we might have the question and answer section. So it can be judges, members of the audience, or the other team. So everyone will get a chance to ask each other questions. So judges or members of the audience or members from the other debating team, they can all ask you questions. And some of the reasons that they'll ask questions is to clarify your position. So they might not understand what you said before, so they'll get you to describe it again, explain it again. Or if it's the other team, they might be trying to find weak spots in your argument. They might also just be asking to test your knowledge on the topic. So we have all of these reasons that we can see why people are asking us these questions. And there are actually quite a few, as you can see. Now, after this Q&A session, we finally get to our third proposition speaker. And it is their job to summarize their team's arguments and deliver closing arcs. So the third proposition speaker needs to remind the audience about their team's arguments. So they need to remind the audience about every argument that their team has made during that debate. We also need to, where is it here? We also need to make sure that we make a strong conclusion. So we need to make sure that we make a strong conclusion, a strong finish to our speech, and make the judges agree with you or agree with your team. So those are the two important jobs that the third proposition speaker makes.
Okay, I've been listening to you all the time you were talking.
Pardon?
I said that I was listening to all the time you were talking.
Very good. Thank you. You're doing what you're supposed to
I
do.
can't see your face. You're white.
Oh, not this again. There we go. I'm back. So finally, we have the third opposition speaker. And the third opposition speaker does, so the third opposition speaker, they're the lucky, they're the most, that they have the biggest advantage for their team because they are the very last people to speak in the debate. So they have a similar job to the third proposition, which is summarize their team's arguments and challenge their opponent's position. So the third opposition speaker, has to summarize their team's argument. So remind the audience about all the arguments that their team has made. And they want to make a strong conclusion. And they really wanted to make one final chance at trying to pick holes in the weakness of their opponents' arguments. So if you have a strong closer on your team, someone that's really good at finishing up speeches, then you can win a debate if they are convincing enough. So those are the 6 important speakers on the debate teams, and those are the jobs that they have to do. So I do believe now that we've got a couple of people that have some jokes and some surprises to tell us. So I'll ask David first. What's your joke that you've got to share with us?
You've got to wait until my joke. I'm gonna go my joke last.
Okay. David's asked us, what kind of dog does a magician have? Does anyone have a clue?
I don't know.
I think I have an idea, but I'm going to let David answer.
Teacher, I think Chips is eating something.
Are you eating Fruit Loops, Chips?
Yeah,
I love Fruit Loops.
I will only show you one surprise.
So, David, what kind of dog does a magician have? Tell us your answer. The answer is a labracadabrador. I thought that one was quite clever. So, okay, so Chips, what is your surprise for the class today?
Okay.
And why do we have so many angels in the class?
3, 2, 1.
Hey, you've been working on a dollhouse too. That looks awesome.
I already finished it.
Very nice.
This girl will show you around. This is her bedroom. She can sleep on here and she has a blanket.
Wow, you even made her a blanket. That's cool.
And this is her kitchen. Do you see the kitchen? Here. She would take out some cherries and eat it on her dining table.
Teacher,
Very nice.
after this class, I have a lot of free time to play.
Okay, she ate the cherries and then she will go have some tea in the living room and watch a movie called Gliding Man.
Very nice, Chips. That's an awesome job you've done.
And this is the bathroom.
I think there's even a door in her dollhouse too.
Yeah,
I once made
they
one
can
when
open
I was
and
little.
close.
Hey, Chips, why don't you make her a pet?
I'll make her later.
Very
I
cool.
think make her.
So-
I have a pot of clay here, so I think I'll make her a snake.
Pet snake. That's cool.
Why? Why do you mean making her a pet snake?
She loves
Okay,
snakes.
so before we get finished up today, Ben's got a joke that he'd like to share
Teacher,
with the class.
you disappear. And then
No.
you came back again.
Finish.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Actually, she did have a pet. I forget to tell you. Actually,
ahead.
she did have a pet.
Your hair is big, your nose is upside down,
Okay.
your eyes are bugging out.
I
So,
once
guys-
made a dollhouse too, but then I think
Teacher.
I lost it.
Teacher,
Oh no. Yes.
teacher, she already have a pet. Look,
Actually, it was made of cardboard.
red
and it had
rattlesnake.
lots
Oh,
of
cool.
glitter.
a red rattlesnake.
Very nice.
I
So,
love
Ben,
to add
what's your
glitter.
joke?
Play.
on my
What's your
cat.
joke, Ben?
What did the driver say when a big piece of ice blocking in the way of his train?
That's a good question, Ben. What does he do?
Teacher, this is my second surprise. Okay.
Hang on a second. We want to hear the answer to Ben's joke first.
I want to hear what does the driver say?
Yeah, go on, Ben. Tell us. What does the driver say?
The driver said, that block of ice.
That's it. Oh no.
Is it my time for? Is it my turn for a joke?
Go on. What's your joke, Emma?
Why do bees have sticky hair?
Why do what?
Why do bees have sticky hair?
Why do bees have sticky hair?
Because they
Because
have
because they use honeycombs.
Yeah, you told that joke last time.
It's my joke.
Here is my second surprise. This
Okay, what's your
is an
second
elec-
surprise, Chips?
This
What is it?
This is an electric circuit. Now I will put the lithium cell. Okay. This on this. and
You
This.
got 20 eye students waiting for you in another one.
Keeping me busy.
Sorry.
Okay.
How come it doesn't make any light flash? I thought it would. I make it last time and it flashed up green light. I think there's something wrong here.
There could maybe be a part of it missing.
I just have a flash.
Well, you're going to have to keep practicing that and show us during the next lesson, because I've got to go to my next class. So
Aren't your next class 1 hour away?
You can tell them to join you
Got a
another class.
surprise too.
so my next class starts like right now, and it's a little bit of pronunciation. We're going to continue working on the vowel sounds in our lesson today.
Teacher, you turn white.
I've turned white
Hey.
again. Oh no.
And you're like upside down.
If you still want to play, you can go in the link that I just sent you.
Okay. So I'm going to post your guys' homework in the Zalo group today, and I'll let you know who's teaming up with who to get this homework done. So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys. If you still
Bye,
want to play, you
everybody.
can go in the link that I sent you and join another Zoom club.
Really.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you.
Bye bye.
But where's now? Let's see.